Alright everybody, it's Mick from Mick's Thai Travels. Today I'd just like to do a little story about how I ended up in Thailand. Now, what it were is that I'd been coming over to Thailand for about 4 years and I used to come across about 3 times a year, so I'd got a partner over in Thailand and I was an HGV driver. Over 40 years experience HGV, so I've worked a lot on HGV side, from everything from construction to containers, low loaders, everything, all sorts of stuff. But anyway, what it were that I worked for my last company. I worked and I was on that IR35 scheme, so I paid my own tax and everything like that. Now the government decided that as from April 2020 that was going to be phased out and you had to be an employee with a company. So I didn't really want that, because I'd tried that before when I used to have a pub for 7 years, and I tried to come off from self-employment and come on to self-assessment and things like that. It was a nightmare and it put me a lot behind in tax and everything like that, and I ended up owing quite a lot, so I didn't want to go down that road, so I kept on as normal. I was going to keep on through April and everything like that, but as it were, the dreaded COVID struck, didn't it? And because of that, in January, the company that I was working with was on the construction side of things, and they decided to lay us off. They laid a lot of sites off and everything like that. They only kept basic going, but because I was classed as self-employed, they laid us off. No warning, no retainer to help you out or anything like that, no nothing. So you're actually left out to dry, and that's it, fend for yourself. So anyway, within a fortnight I got another job, but come April time, or just before April, the government decided to knock that IR35 back for another year. So they ended up saying that it was going to be April 2021 it was going to go up to. I don't know if it's still on. To tell you the truth, I'm not all that interested, but it was going to be on till 2021. So I decided that I'd work up to around about Christmas time, and then I got fed up. I used to be working with Morrison's on double deckers and everything like that, and I just got fed up with working it. Now, lorry drivers are not well thought of, to tell you the truth, and all that. I was working away all week. I was on Tuesday to Saturday, and I was doing like 14-15 hour days, mainly more than 12 hours and up to 15 hours 3 times a week. So, but the company decided just to get rid of it just like that, nothing. So they did that, and like I said, I went on to Morrison's for a while, but I soon got fed up with it. And because of all the restrictions that were coming out on COVID, it means that I couldn't get back to Thailand. Now, I'd actually been coming back to Thailand at least 3 times a year for the 4 years. And sometimes I used to come back for a month at a time, like so. I really, when COVID struck, I couldn't get over. But then you had to do the PCR tests, the quarantine and everything like that. But the main thing was that the embassy in London was shut and you had to do everything online. And to tell you the truth, it was an absolute pain in the arse. You couldn't flipping get anything sorted out. It was a nightmare. So anyway, so was in contact with an agent over in Pattaya, and he actually told me to tell it true, they were coming out with all different visas as well, all these different visas that they were knocking up every 5 minutes, and it come out with this 90-day one. But this 90-day one, you could extend it 3 times to 270 days. Now I got in touch with the bloke over in Pattaya, and he told me not to go that route, because if I did that route, after the 270 days I couldn't go back. I'd have to actually leave the country, so I'd have to do that. So I decided not to go down that route. And my intention was to finish work completely, get my house and all that all sorted out. I'd only got a year to go for my pension, and then just leave and just go and retire a year early. So anyway, that was my intention. So anyway, so what happened is I ended up, top and tail is I come across on a 30-day extension visa. We know, so it was just a normal visa, so you got on the plane, but you had to have the PCR test and everything like that. The quarantine had to be booked. You had to get the certificate of entry, and I got everything like that. I got it all sorted out. And I come across to Thailand. The 30 days was extended to 45 days because I was in 15-day quarantine. But when I got into the 15-day quarantine, they decided to knock it down to 10 days, which suited me. But the trouble is, I'd lost 5 days' money because I couldn't get that back. So anyway, so what it is, at least I'm over here now. But no, that's my experience with the HGV industry, and I know that there's a shortage on that, but there was a hell of a lot of people on that IR35 system, and a lot of people got disgruntled with the government saying, and employees actually knocking people off because they couldn't do it after April, and then the government just extending it. Shut up now. Oh, shut up. You know what I mean. They just extended it. So anyway, so that's what happened. So I'd done years and years of driving, and to be fair, I quite like driving, and I like the being out on the open road and all that. But now, now I'm in Thailand, and I'm on the open road now again. And what I'm doing, I'm with my partner. She's got her own house and everything like that, so I'm living with her. And I've got my own motorbike and car, which I bought, and everything like that. So I saved up like mad for the last year, and then that were it. I've gone, but I'm not bothered about England whatsoever now, to tell you the truth. And the trouble is that my family's over there, and this COVID thing again, innit? This is the thing. I want to go back to England next year to see my family and everything like that, but they're on about you've got to have double vaccinations to go over there, and I've got to have double vaccinations to come back, otherwise I won't get back into Thailand, and I'd have to get a quarantine, and it changes every 5 minutes. Nobody knows what the hell they're doing. It changes every 5 minutes, so I'm not to tell the truth, I'm leaving it. I'm leaving my vaccination while sometime next year, hopefully. I can get vaccinated. I can't get vaccinated now at the minute. There's no sort of jab that I can have. They're just jabbing the Thai people and everything like that, and nobody around our end is getting the jab. So which suits me, because I'm not all that bothered about getting the jab anyway in the first place. I'm perfectly healthy. I've lasted 65 years on this earth without getting jabs every 5 minutes, so to be fair, and I don't even go to doctors. I don't even see me doctor. So why the hell I should have something pumped inside me just because the government says so? I just don't understand it. I'm perfectly healthy. I've never, I wouldn't even know what my doctor's name is, to tell the truth. I ain't got a clue. Flu jabs. I never have the flu jabs. Used to get flu jabs. Used to get the people that were getting the flu jab used to get flu, and I didn't have the flu jab, and I didn't used to get flu. So how does all that work? So I don't know. I got the standard jabs when I were in the army and everything like that, which the standard jabs what everybody gets when they're younger and everything like that, but they are well proven. They're well proven jabs and everything like that. This to me is just, it just bugs me. It's just a license to print money with these pharma companies now. It's just a license to print, and just like, I just don't agree with it one bit. I think if you're healthy enough, you're okay. I can get tested. I can get an antibody test if I need to fly anyway. Why do I need double vaccines? Just give me an antibody test and to get on a plane. If my antibodies are all right, I come across here without getting a vaccine. My doctor even told me not to get the vaccine because I was flying across and I'm getting a PCR test, and he said it might interfere with that. So he said, if I were you, I won't get it. So I didn't get it. So that's it. So the whole situation is, I come over to Thailand with a PCR test and a quarantine and things like that, which wasn't proven then. Now they've changed all the quarantine requirements now anyway. So, but I come over here without no vaccination thing. But now, if I go anywhere else, I've got to be double vaccinated, and I come across. But the thing is, you've got to have a PCR test as well when you come across before you fly, which is exactly the same as what I did. And then you've got to have a PCR test when you're over here, which is exactly the same as I did. So what's the point in the vaccine? Can't understand it, me. But it's just stopping me going anywhere. I said, all these passport things and everything like that's a load of shit. I just can't get my head around it. Anyway, I'm not bothered about that now. I'm not going on about it. I'm not any more about it at all. But that was my thing. I'm living in Thailand now, and I'll just show you a little bit around here. I've just found this temple. It's just near. This is the temple. Say the entrance is just down there where I come in, and this is the temple. Look at that. Look at that roof. Now this is just in sticks, this in middle of the village. Just a small village, and also, I mean, it looks as though they haven't been used for ages, this as well. But that here too, you've got all the snakes and serpents leading up to the doors. Each door you've got a lovely ornate roof. No, that's it. Right, okay guys, so it is now. I'm just going to go back to my vehicle and then get my friend back off to the village. Like I said, this were only just a short little vlog and everything like that, just for get me out of the village and things like that. But I just thought I'd have a little bit of a rant on the situation and things like that. Like I say, that's my experience of being an HGV driver in England. To tell you the truth, I do miss it. In some ways I do miss it, and I do miss England sometimes. I like my walks in the countryside and everything like that. There's not much round me at the minute because although we've got mountains and all that further down, like, but it's mainly all flat and paddy fields round where I live. So it's not all that scenic. but it's nice. The temperature today, I mean, look, I've got coconuts up in the tree now. I've got coconuts up in them trees, up above them trees here. Coconuts in the trees, and about 36 degrees it is. So when it's winter now, and my son's just sent me a photo this morning. Snow on the ground in England, where he is. So, and that's another thing I miss as well. I miss the snow. Obviously, don't get out like that here, but I do miss the snow. I'm not bothered about cold weather. Cold weather, you just wrap up, don't you? When you go out, but I used to love going for a walk with dogs and all that in park with snow, things like that. Didn't mind it at all. Anyway, right, I'm gonna end this here, and well, you just enjoyed this. Just a little bit of a informative thing and everything like that.
Like a bird on a
Dogs
tree.
are looking at me all over the place here. These dogs are all around this temple and all that. They're all running about all over. It's barking, yeah. They're all running about, barking like a... Right, anyway, I'll end it here, so I'll catch you later. Okay, bye-bye.